ISPR Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry has slammed India's destabilizing agenda, declaring that Marka-e-Haq has robustly established Pakistan's unshakable deterrence while exposing New Delhi's proxy network and malicious false narrative. In a sharp, no-hold-barred brief marking 1 year of Marka-e-Haq and Operation Bunyan Marsoos, Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry called out India for baseless blaming Pakistan for Pahalgam incident without a shred of evidence. He said New Delhi is actively fueling terrorist activity through its proxy element operating from Afghanistan. For more analysis on this, we are joined by retired Brigadier Waqar Hassan. Waqar, thank you so much for joining us. First, I'd like to ask, how did Pakistan demonstrate its multi-domain defense capability during Operation Bunyan Marsoos?
I think if you look at May 2025, it will be written as a historic month and historic dates for Pakistan's success against India. Now, on multi-domain operation, Pakistan has been working since 2019, and by 2025, Pakistan was ready for multi-domain operation and mosaic warfare. And if you look at India, they are now trying to grapple with this new form of warfare. So definitely Pakistan is about 5 to 6 years ahead. That is, of course, the synergy which is required in multi-domain operation, the three services, the leadership, the information warfare, cyber warfare. Here we also found that it was actively displayed, and entire, I think, international community we deal with security acknowledged it. If you look at the follow-up of magazine like National Interest or Foreign Affairs magazine in the US, which are big magazines for security and international relations, they acknowledge that Pakistan had a clear edge, in May 2025. Then, of course, is the role of leadership. If you look at political military leadership, was very resilient, audacious, and they took their decisions, I think, at appropriate time with a lot of foresight and dented Indian designs, and I think India suffered heavily. So I think these factors are important in multi-domain operations. That's why Pakistan military is now being sought in different countries. We have defense agreement with Saudi Arabia, and there are a number of countries lined up to have defense relationship and learn from Pakistan. So I think that talks of the success of Pakistan's multi-domain.
Right. So India projected itself as a super regional power, right, in South Asia. But do you think that Marka-e-Haq exposed the major weakness in its military preparedness?
Yeah, so you look at Indian track record in last decade, it's very important. That in 2019, Pakistan gave them a bloody nose, shot down their aircraft over Balakot, after Balakot. And then in 2020, they had a clash with China. So this is very important. The China, I think captured about 4,500 square kilometers or something like that. And this was acknowledged by Rahul Gandhi and their opposition and the people in Ladakh. And India couldn't do anything. So that's where I think the West started feeling that India and military was best tiger. Which has now a budget of $110 billion. And I don't know where does it go. So if you look at capability of officer cadre leadership, it was nowhere, close to Pakistan. So that's why I think Indian credibility as a military power has been dented very badly. Even if you look at Indian Northeast, it is totally out of control of Indian military. The border is, being attacked by tribes, and nobody can do anything about it. So I think 2025 may also proved that Indian leadership was not only incapable and incompetent, but also lacked the will, to fight. And on the other side, if you look at Pakistan, despite comparatively smaller force, it displayed, a very, top-notch leadership, a very sound strategy, and cool and decisions, and that's what I think we saw on the battlefield.
Right. So ISPR, he said that Pakistan has defeated an enemy that is 5 times larger than it. So, how do you read that? Do you think that challenges India's military dominance or their narrative of military dominance?
Yeah, if you look at asymmetry, it's very important. There is asymmetry between Pakistan and India that is, right mathematically. Indian economy is larger, the geography is big. They have definitely, budget is more than 10 times of Pakistan's budget. But also there's an asymmetry between India and China. So if you look at the response by both the militaries, India versus China in 2020, very, very passive response, inept leadership, and they couldn't take major decisions and couldn't do anything. So this means, the kind of, I would say, military will with the Indian leadership. And if you look at Pakistan, India, again, asymmetry, but then Pakistan not only checked their, let's say, aggression, but also defeated it squarely. So I think this is the difference, that asymmetrically smaller force, if led, properly, and applies a good strategy and then effectively uses the weapon system and adopts a form of warfare which is modern, it can defeat a larger military. So I think that's where I will comment that Indian military has lost on a number of accounts. So one has to weigh how did they behave against China and then against Pakistan, and how Pakistan military, being a smaller force, really broke their jaws.
Right. Thank you so much, Brigadier Waqar, for joining us and giving us your time and such deep analysis. Thank you so much.